Hi, this is Stephanie of Telly Bean Knits, and today I'm going to show you how to work a left leaning crown stitch and a right leaning crown stitch. This is a really beautiful stitch that can add texture to your knitting and has the bonus of being reversible, which is super fun. I am ready to start working my crown stitches. In the previous round, I have actually worked the triple wrap knit stitch, and so my needles are just loaded up with extra wraps. You can see every stitch has 3 wraps. And so I am ready to start the little crowns. The first thing I'm going to do, we'll start with a right leaning little crown. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my yarn is at the back of my work. And I'm going to insert my needle from right to left purlwise so that I can drop the extra wraps. And whenever I drop the extra wraps, I'm going to catch that now very long stitch on my right needle with my index finger, because it does have a tendency to slide around and can pop right off. Now, one thing that's nice that since that's such a long stitch, it's easy to put back on your needle. We're going to do this with 4 total stitches to work our first right leaning little crowns. We have 1 long stitch, so now we're going to do that 3 more times. So now we have 4 long stitches on our right hand needle, and we're going to insert the left hand needle and slip all 4 stitches back onto the left hand needle. Now we're going to insert the right hand needle knitwise through the center of all 4 stitches so that we can knit those 4 stitches together. We're going to knit those 4 stitches together, and I'm going to just hold those long stitches in place with my left index finger. I don't want these to come off my left needle yet. So now I have a knit stitch on my right needle, and we're going to keep these 4 stitches on my left hand needle. I'm going to bring my yarn to the front, being careful not to slide those long stitches off of my left hand needle. And now that my yarn is in the front, I'm going to insert my needle purlwise, and I'm going to purl all 4 stitches together. And again, I'm going to keep those long loops on my left hand needle. I'm going to bring my yarn to the back, insert my needle knitwise, and knit all 4 stitches together. And then I'm going to bring my yarn to the front, and I'm going to purl all 4 stitches together. And now I've created 4 stitches on my right hand needle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've ended with a purl stitch. Now I can drop those long stitches off my left hand needle, and I've just created my first little crown. That's a right leaning little crown. You can see it's right leaning because the legs at the bottom are swooping to the right. Let me show you that one more time. Bring your working yarn to the back. Scooch those triple wrap stitches up close to the end of your needle. Insert your right hand needle purlwise and drop those extra wraps to create 4 long stitches on your right hand needle. Insert your left hand needle and slip all 4 stitches back onto your left hand needle. Now we're going to insert our needle knitwise through all 4 stitches. We're going to knit a stitch. Bring your yarn to the front, insert your needle purlwise, and purl a stitch. Bring your yarn to the back, insert your needle once again knitwise, knit a stitch, and bring your yarn to the front, insert your needle purlwise, and purl a stitch. Now that you have 4 stitches in the center of those long stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, ending with a purl stitch. Now you can drop those long stitches off the left hand needle, and you've just created another right leaning little crown. You can see that there's a bit of a gap between these. If you are getting really large gaps, when you work that first knit stitch into the center of the long stitches, you can give it a little tug to bring them together. But don't worry too much about small gaps like this. Those will actually close up when you start working the rows after. The next thing I'm going to show you is the left leaning little crown. The left leaning little crown is worked quite similarly to the right leaning little crown. So to begin, we're going to do the same thing that we did at the beginning of our right leaning little crown. We're going to insert our needle purlwise and drop those extra wraps so that we can create 4 long stitches on a right hand needle. We're going to bring those stitches back onto our left hand needle, slip those to the left hand needle, and now we are going to work knit through the back loop, purl through the back loop, knit through the back loop, purl through the back loop, all into those same 4 stitches. So let me show you. We're going to insert our needle purlwise, but we're going to go into the back loops. We're going to knit all 4 of those stitches together through the back loop. Now, without dropping these off of our left hand needle, we're going to bring our yarn back to the front and we're going to purl through the back loop. Be careful not to drop those stitches off of your left hand needle. Bring your yarn to the back and knit those same 4 stitches together through the back loop. Bring your yarn to the front and one last time purl all 4 stitches together through the back loop. Now that we have made 4 stitches into the center of those elongated stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, now we can drop the long stitches off of the left hand needle and you can see we have a left leaning little crown. It swoops to the left. Let me show you that one more time. Unwrap those 4 stitches to create 4 long stitches on your right hand needle. Slip those 4 stitches back to your left hand needle. Insert your needle into the back loop, all 4 back loops, and we're going to knit those 4 stitches together through the back loop. Bring our yarn to the front, purl those 4 stitches together through the back loop. Bring the yarn to the back, knit those 4 stitches together through the back loop, bring the yarn to the front, and purl those 4 stitches through the back loop. And drop that off of your left hand needle. And now you have worked 2 right leaning little crowns and 2 left leaning little crowns. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it.